Thank you, Clare. Thank you all the other poets for getting us started. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce today's first feature poet, returning to the Hot L stage, Thea Brown, or as she's known to some people in some parts, Mighty T. She read for us, as some of you may know, in the Hot L 5 or 6 years ago, and that one was indoors at, Bird in Hand. Yeah, so we got you outdoors. But thanks for coming back. Thea Brown is the author of 3 full-length collections, most recently Loner Forensics, which appeared from Northwestern University this year. And I did see copies available for sale, so pick one up. I'm excited to hear her read from the new work today. Her poems have appeared in many fantastic magazines, some of them being Oversound, Denver Quarterly, the Iowa Review, LitHub, and Vinyl. Thea lives right here in Baltimore and teaches creative writing at George Washington University. Please welcome Mighty T.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. That is an accurate nickname that I have not heard in a long time, but that I told Stefan and some other people about recently. Now I'm sort of regretting it. Just kidding. Just saying that. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for coming to listen. Thank you to David and Claire and Stefan for organizing, and Emma and everyone at the Ivy for hosting. I'm excited to read here with Josh and all of the open mic folks. I love the open mic. I like coming here when I'm not doing this and doing open mic ones. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad that the Hot L is back on for this year. I'm going to read from Loner Forensics, which is a new book that came out this year in May. It is held together by the central figure of a detective who is moving around the city, interviewing people about disappearances across that city. I usually start off by reading an abbreviated version of the long first poem in the book, which sort of sets the stage, and then I'll bounce around in the remaining poems, which are all some of the people who are being interviewed by the detective, and I usually do a kind of audience participation card for that. We'll choose the path that we take through the remaining poems, so hopefully you'll help me out with that. I thought today, since there's some people here who have heard me do this shtick before, I don't want to be super boring, I'm going to read of the abbreviated section. The sections I don't usually read, so it'll make less sense. How fun. We'll see. I'll read this first poem, or parts of it anyways, and then we will move on from there, and I'll ask for a little help in deciding which direction we take. Head south, catafalque. All silence cedes to an era's loss, and in ceding withdraws its single comfort, like night through the upended city. Up cobbled rises, past branded stone and bridges, time points receding over the harbor, through the desert, into forested hills surrounding. Ravines teem, unlikely critters in the city's vaults, given space passed over, under arches. The silence does not drown, blazing where it courses, a way glow of let go across the dewy blades of every park. And what about all these endlessly recurrent visions, excessive, recursive, successive, execution, meaning what in the face of new disappearance? Even a shining shock foretold, even the aura's luster facing, umbra facing, stalling wonder stuck in place as with a pin, run cleanly through. Even nothing but the dull smell of dust around the catafalques, erected outdoors on the park paths at night, flanked by columns of city steam. What then? Recall security as reckless borders, divisions made gravitational by heat. You don't know it, you don't, you do. A folding telescope left on the sill in an empty apartment, pointed toward the window in brick across the way. Bronze worried to shine, and still you know it, you do. Why such necessity? Why drawing a steady path, slow incline? Why gesture, brow raised? Why all that darkness, viscid, waiting in the wings to hulk up over the mountain, across the desert, down the valley, toward, stench like tar and hide, new earth, the mountain shrugs, resettles, and still they appear. What a parlor game you used to say to you waiting for a lift. To stand on the curb, on the stone steps of the monument, the fountain, the city altar, tracking rising light, silence receding up limestone and brick, to take up regular temporary residence in every hospital ever built, to have brought oneself to the depths of weightlessness, approaching true investigation, a lie. What a hoot, you'd say, and raise your glass to you who couldn't watch. Plastic in the life support's glow and beats. And what does it mean to have been here? What does it mean to have been brought here to spectate all your student fellows watching and breathing, silent, respectful? And what is the hand that directs the viewing support through its gestures? Gentle guidance of the chin toward constellations through leaves, systematic, what structures of end games and structures of stopgaps, stopping gape everywhere, a tired resistance retiring. A bell tower centers the glaring city, beacon for ghosts stirring through. What etiquette, reflection, some disappearance in the parks grow on, filling skeletal vacants with new cycling sprouts, hopeful in a last warm gasp. All seasons at once, daily, nightly, the silence, the noise. The interviews that follow, the city that follows, the interviews of the dream, where the answer to the city of the time when the figment who the story stalled, the you is, the you is, the you is, the wrong way to go about this. The register. Honestly, there's a lot of time killing. I'm tired of feeling powerful from it. In this city, the city disappears people invisibly until we are the city, and we are already the city. Or visibly, but immediately, institutionally recast invisible. Not immediately, more like eventually, immediately. Gaslit, the self-help internet says, newly, neatly, lowercase, to better fit in among our endless, redundant electronic affirmations. Heal yourself on your off hours, unreported, and post the results. Tally. The city quietly reorganizes itself around the fog creeping, and we are the city. Once a shift, I visit the teller in her smart cage for change. The palm reader comes in for quarters. The actuary intones, moans, can't make a decision. The story where the structure is inevitable, checking IDs, collecting covers, in-kind, no charge, reorganized. Citizens buying taquitos all hours of the day and night. Okay. Reconfigured attention. Is that a question? I've been waiting long enough to keep watching it happen. This is the participation part. If you would like to talk to the teller, please put up one finger. If you would like to talk to the luxury consultant, please put up two fingers. Oh, unanimous luxury consultant. All right. Turn the book. Some of them are printed sideways. The luxury consultant. Welcome. Click. Just so for snaps, I'll describe your message's psychodynamic constitution as lacking follow-through, though for now I'll respond from this tropical sailboat where I am anymore half the time. Can you hear me? My connection, temporarily disconnected, reconnected. I left. Anyone can be too. Choose comfort, cream, metaphorically fat living like sleeping excessively in an ooey-gooey live stream, heart filtered. Choose thread count by adherence to steady ambient light levels. Modified vibraphone awakenings designed for each new dawn, volume, equalizer, ping. And here goes another shelf of turquoise water careening into mist off the bow. The city where I used to know rain by tires gushing on endless alleys and another pass, and soon potion conjuring a pastel memory, softening what ought to be a bitter pill. Now, I find fancy furniture affixed to the floorboards, blister packs spent before bedtime, bottomless per diem, cut and tightening of the skin of the throat. My internist visits the ship, elides actionable offense, eats oysters. I feel good answering your interview request, detective, because nothing should be so easy like reposting someone else's art with a smiling cat emoji. The city is not. I can't say I'm directly affected when I'm the cause, all I've let slide. The dream is a song, is not temporarily disconnected, reconnected, sunk charms dulled and resurfaced, an amethyst, a self-investigation, a bloodstone, sunstone, heliotrope, a checking-in image spared emerald incantation about a heartbeat, heart center exercise, carrying one through one's day as though benevolence a commodity. Yes, technically I'm an expat. Already or still fatigue takes root and spreads, affixes, multiplies. The boredoms are all different. Monotonous novelty, marvelous distraction. My for now home afloat, bedrooms all variously adorned, distracted, thematic. I've drowned the captain's log decoratively, a long tether to shore. If you'd like to talk to the internist, please hold up one finger. If you'd like to talk to the forensics team, please hold up 2 fingers. Forensics team it is. Yeah, find one. There's a lot of forensics team. Well, there's like 8. I don't know if that's a lot. The forensics team. In this interview, a cold apartment, the forensics team, ribbony, flitting, wants to make you a cup of tea, care, dumbed about how you came to never exist in the city both before and after you came into it. Sorry for your thoughts and... If you'd like to talk to the internist, please hold up 1 finger. If you'd like to talk to the florist, please hold up 2 fingers. Florist it is. The florist shutters up. When I take my prescriptions, I have them carefully with the edge of a slanted tweezer blade. All this predictable. I call it intimate. I can almost imagine myself a florist. I can almost immediately imagine myself an intimate florist in a shop no one visits down a curving cobbled street. It's dark. There are golden lamps. My vista windows soon to frame an alley instead of the red and silver daytime skyline. Self says maybe a dumpster or a laundry vent. It's dark, and I can only ever taste the inside of my mouth, ashy and uninviting. I woke up dead yesterday over daytime email, but do I? Self said, I'm right here standing at my workstation like I always have to do. Sky like tissue paper, landscape, a terrible reel of brownstone, hospital tree, glare from behind it all, watery. The concierge orders bouquets, exotics. Self says, I am a direct dismissal of an animal at work, excused exclusively, teeth. I miss my partner when they're at work and I'm at work. I think there are so many altos and so many instrumentals and instructional videos of them all. I feel like the dream is I finger the carnations. I push the baby's breath behind my ears. I watch out the diminishing window for someone tonight to come by. If you'd like to talk to the concierge, please hold up 1 finger. If you'd like to talk to the diplomat, hold up 2 fingers. Diplomat. The diplomat. Have a seat. Have you noticed how the sun closes in outside the city? Or the land lower down supports its protections, humidity, shade. Embracing heat, days of the low landscape presses in unwanted, same. It doesn't pummel. A wilted church banner discloses no one should ever acquiesce to be touched by others, even as the holidays burn on. Bleached ghost town administered by the city, a place to exercise my immunity, the mayor won't learn basic protocol. The buses run wildly so, but still there are some buses. On the surface, everyone's defensive. The mayor's lost interest in her friends. No one buys me drinks anymore when I slide my business card across a dark bar, intelligence, tradecraft, code words for embargoes, a feel-good argument. Still, I write everything down. The city is, like I said, the mayor's lost interest in gathering intelligence, mine, gathering me up in her arms, stroking my notepad and my pen. Wrong or incomplete, friends all rich gossips, but lately I think they've gotten wise, grown cold, no new messages. No more meetings in alleyways or on bus benches with newspapers or coffees, like passing the time in places they've never been. It's okay though. Now I feed the coyotes. Same. I recall the greening fountain outside. Same. Her protection seemed promising when I began, like a well-earned bludgeoning. I lounged on her yacht deck, a secured, well-ventilated space. I know better now. Now, the sometimes silences all around the mansion, and I know it's time to begin listening in earnest. Do 2 more. If you'd like to talk to the journalists, hold up 1 finger. If you'd like to talk to, what's here? The twins, hold up 2 fingers. Twins, those are the twins. The journalist talks about the twins, but let's do the twins with no context. That's the twins. Start field reporting. Like a breeze, our demons, loyal as dogs, healing, our summoning, brings a peach to the party, a beach to the city, a calm to the waters that laugh at our braids, our tongues we bow to the harbor, we face the desert. We've moved farther from the lot where we found the impression, where flowers of the first, we have found more in light filtered through aquarium tanks, slow sharks and rays and divers, low pile carpet to quiet, still singing, we hear our demons help search, speak only to each other, despite interview requests, entreaties from the system to help. We help or we point past, have sharpened our focus, our focal radical. We grant none, we post, we continue our play, our ask, bring only ourselves as the music swells, the LEDs stream from mast to flagpole to lamppost, and at night the city returns to trace its vessel paths through receded silence, still sticky with damp. We see it with slick, with sick, with what remains on our tongues, everything altered as usual, lights drip up, drip down, brick across, hauled dirt in for arrangement, mulch hauled, and the gardener watches us, crouched behind the willow, approximate decay stalling annuals and lush in rest before brownstones we search, listen, channel, project. Does public beautification face its violence, institutional light aims true through each who calls to it to frighten it away, healing, end field recording. I'll do 1 more again that I will choose. The last one is the detective. The detective appears. The detective. You're dreaming. You're asking questions. You're asking one question over and over. You're not sure you're dreaming. You're a killer, but not an assassin. You're dyeing your hair blonde, and you're concerned about the timing. You're destroying a city, a partnership. You're sinking through cool blue jelly. You're alluring and humiliating. You're touching others' lips with your done thumb. You're embarrassing the suspects who know you best. You're staring at something until you forget it's not yours. You're staring at something until you forget it's not part of you. Forgetting your complicity is one problem. You're awake in the city. The city is not a story. You're from somewhere you're returning to, trying to climb a hill and can't. Sunk to all 4 hooves. A tower of apartments lists westward and blinks, forgetting the indifference between acknowledgement and winking. You're responsible. The city is transparent, shadeless, and cluttered. Performing one task at a time, protected by tropical plants and terracotta pots. You're identifying protective corners in your workspace. Falling asleep without sound surrounding, not waking yourself howling, your partner falling asleep without the television on. You're forgetting to eat. You're building a dream from a metaphor. You're always forgetting to always be joking. You're accompanied by ghosts who follow you like crows through the city, cobbled, bustling, bright with silver balloons. The city morphs to a desert mesa with sagebrush and bighorns. The sun is turning the earth inhospitable. You are turning the earth inhospitable. You're building a story from dismantled symbols. The ghosts become a greenish fog, watery. The city's central fountain overflows with bubbles and coins at midnight. Beckon, you're eating fatty cakes and fruit pastries and are joyful. The ghosts who follow you become a silent dog. The ghosts become a moth. These ghosts become a woven hat tied round your chin as you pick your way through a misty vineyard. Neon leaves lilting toward a farmhouse come celebrity restaurant. Altering the constellations to revivify your love, all lights pointing toward your new goals, revivified the content skipping and buffering and keeps buffering. You are represented everywhere you look, and yet finding established trails in the wilderness, relief and disappointment, and animal smell. You're moving toward a vacant lot, the crowd coming together to form a lake, the day beginning to end and panic bubbling up. It's night and you can't sleep. You're lying to everyone you know. You're listening and misreporting. From giving the benefit of the doubt to the one warm part of the villain. Your hair stops falling out. You're no longer disordered. You're sleeping or falling asleep in rooms of mansions managed for tourists to solve mysteries in. Condemned mental institutions, grand hotels, shuttered cinemas, brick alleys, all climate controlled and carefully surveilled, passageways just wide enough to admit a human body successfully. Leaving something, a ring, in one of the rooms of the mystery house, enacting the mystery through your search and retrieval, waking up in a new place over and over until the wakings no longer new. The earth so dry it turns to dust and hovers, suffocating. You're watching satellites sail through space all night from your roof, still recording. Voices telling you to get in the pool, and you do. The rungs of the ladder, rough gold all the way down.